What's up, guys? I'm here to do the latest chapter of Toriko that was just released. Very funny, well, I wouldn't call it funny. Well, yeah, I'd call it it's a very funny, happy-go-lucky chapter, and I actually enjoyed it. So I'm not going to give you guys a summary because I'm assuming you guys have read the chapter already. This is more so on just my feedback on the chapter. I think the first thing though is that we gotta talk about Toriko's full course menu. Whenever I'm reading like a manga that's as cool as Toriko, I'm always like, the main character is gonna be the most strongest, most awesome, most powerful character in the series, and I still hold that to Toriko. I do think, especially with the latest chapters, that's been revealed that Toriko will probably go farther than Ichirayu in strength, and probably farther than anyone we've seen, including Midora and so forth. However, we get to Toriko's full course menu, and it is disproportionate as heck. I mean, sure, he's going along his adventure, and unlike other full course menus like Ichirayu's, his is more so just adding on ingredients he deems worthy as he goes along with his adventure. The problem though is that he has, various capture levels of ingredients from really, really weak to really strong, and it just doesn't really make sense. Other full course menus like Ichirayu's, like many others, some only revealed in anime, they all have some sort of common theme, whether it's all super high level capture level beast like Naki Master Jiro's full course menu, or Ichirayu's with the whole thing centered around the billion bird. But it seems like not just Toriko, but the other Heavenly Kings, their full courses are just very, it's a motley crew of, creatures that they deem strong, like the strongest they've ever seen and defeated at the time that they decided to put it on their full course. But now as the series progresses, it's like the author's kind of stuck in a spot where it's like, I can't really take it off the menu because I put it on there. But now, since the power levels have been getting much stronger, it's kind of awkward having it on there. Other than that, I thought it was a really cool episode. There was a lot of really cool drawings of food, and you guys should know how much I love food. If you don't, I have a main YouTube channel, and a couple of my videos were just on my stories on why I like food so much and buffets and so forth, and how blessed I am to have a fairly decent metabolism. But yeah, the first few pages were just really, really well drawn pictures of various types of food that were very well described. It's kind of disturbing that they all came from the same ugly, screwed up bird. Like, if I was in Toriko and I saw that bird first, I would be very disturbed to eat all that food, knowing that it came from that ugly bird that can think and is almost sentient to the point where it can like cry and it understands the other humans. Like, I would be disturbed to eat something like that. But if I hadn't seen the bird first and there was just a banquet with all the food described in the chapter, I would have eaten that like, oh, this is delicious, assuming it was all just chicken. Having said that though, I know animal rights, even in real life, like the chicken that's killed to make all the beautiful food that's comparable to what we've seen in Toriko. I mean, let it be known that all the food described, those fried chicken wings and so forth, they represent real life food. And yes, the real life animals killed to make that food it's very terrible. It's like, from what I know, the little I know, it's like they mass reproduce the animals in cooped up hens where they can't even move because it's so crowded, but they want to increase productivity, and then they slaughter them, and then they fry them and feather them and put them into McDonald's Happy Meals. It's horrible. And so this leads to the final big point that I wanted to make about this chapter. It is very disturbing to me that all these millions unintentional pun, all those millions of birds were slaughtered. And the fact that, Komatsu at the end of the chapter is like telling this bird, "Oh, how much we appreciate you. You're so great." Like the whole idea, it's just too fairy tale and unrealistic for me. Like, billion bird, do you realize that all your million of offspring, right after they were hatched, they were all slaughtered and cut up and killed to feed other people? Like, it's like pretty much genocide in order for another species to survive. And I know the flip side is that the billion bird wants to be appreciated and no one has, and finally it has a predator that appreciates it enough to eat it. So I understand that, and I understand where Komatsu may be coming from. However, the final thing though is just that disturbs me is the fact that, other than the fact that the billion bird sprouted beautiful wings, I thought that was actually fairly cool. And other than the fact that the billion bird, he can understand Komatsu, he starts crying, he flies away, he can think, he's pretty much like smart, which makes it even more disturbing that they're being slaughtered and killed and eaten, even if the meat is being, elaborately decorated and seasoned. The final thing is the whole concept of how the billion bird went extinct or came close to extinction because no predators appreciated it and wanted to eat it, and therefore it went into extinction. That doesn't make any sense. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I heard, it seems to be that the billion bird naturally was, a predator. It had natural predators and it was appreciated, but then it adapted and started making really nasty tasting eggs, so no predators would eat it. I'm a biologist, so I understand extinction and so forth. That would not cause extinction. That would cause it to survive better. It doesn't make natural sense. Having eggs that taste nasty would not encourage extinction. More so, it would encourage survival. So that didn't make sense to me. And so I really want you guys, if you want to leave a comment, tell me your opinions on what I just said, from the whole disturbing part about them feasting on these guys. Regardless, it was a fairly good chapter. And then the final thing, which has been in the back of my mind for the longest time since the start of this chapter, was that whole thing where Toriko did not check the house when they found the chest with the billion bird inside it. The billion bird egg inside of it. So, that looming picture of that old creature in that rocking chair in that house, I want to find out what it is. I'm hoping the author of Toriko hasn't forgotten about it and moved on. I want to see what happens. And as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. It's very... let me know your theories in the comments below. Let me know your theories on what that bird is. Do you think it is just another Nitro? Or do you think it is the billion bird who is older now? I don't think it is. I think it is some sort of Nitro that has sided with Ichirayu, who has tried to guard the egg but has aged significantly. And his plan was to probably wait for Toriko to arrive and give them some secret about the blue Nitro that will help them. But the plan has fallen back because he's so old that he can't get out of his chair in time. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll see you later.